arrest. That is not true. The fourth branch of government is the independent jury. Let me tell you, Governor Cuomo and his lackeys have unleashed a wicked and unjust law upon the people of New York State. They have continued tirelessly in their effort to take away your right to defend yourself and your family. They're systematically stripping women of their ability to fight rapists and other attackers. And they've turned peaceful, law-abiding citizens into criminals with the stroke of a pen. I'm sorry I gotta read from this, but this speech is just too important to do right off the top of my head. From that building right over there, where they're all gathered at this exact moment, no doubt plotting their next nefarious act, they've declared a war on our Constitution. But an unjust law is no law at all. This statement from Thomas Jefferson is entirely true. So what does it mean when the people give up and submit to an unjust law? It means slavery, subjugation. Know this, however. There are ways to resist tyranny that do not require the press box, do not require the ballot box, nor the ammo box. What I'm referring to is nullification from the jury box. This is a concept that should once again be spread far and wide. Here in New York, the Civil Rights Movement, the anti-prohibition movement, and even the Northern Abolitionist movement have a proud history of nullification. In 1850, the U.S. government declared that anyone could be arrested for providing assistance to slaves freeing their captivity. Only 1 year later, in 1851, a jury in our home state, in my hometown of Syracuse, bravely and courageously nullified the Fugitive Slave Act. Slightly more recently, when you couldn't even refresh yourself with a beer in this country because of prohibition, the citizens of New York City openly defied that law and bars were kept open. Why? Because you couldn't find a jury to convict. I imagine it went something like this. A jury took one look at the case and said, that's not a law, forget about it. It was these examples and similar brave acts by fellow New Yorkers of years past that raised public awareness and gave politicians the political will to overturn and repeal these laws. Politicians and law enforcement can also nullify unjust laws. Local leaders can pass laws whereby their town or county refuses to enforce any law that would violate the constitutional rights of their constituents. We need to immediately encourage them to do so. We should get them to nullify the SAFE Act, like the legislature of Oswego County, New York is doing right now. Urge them also to nullify Obamacare. Urge them to nullify our violations of privacy under the Patriot Act. Indefinite detention under NDAA. And outright reject the next thing from Governor Cuomo, his new plan to force mandatory Gardasil injections on our daughters. I'm proud to announce that I'm running for city council in the city of Syracuse this year. You can find out more at davidandrewgay.com. I promise that if I'm elected, I will absolutely introduce nullification legislation in my hometown to raise awareness. We should encourage also our law enforcement not to make any arrests under these laws. I realize that we have many law enforcement officers and oath keepers in town today.
Donations for them?
I do know that they've been lobbying to get an exception for their law enforcement related weapons. What I hope is that they will stay with the people even if such an exception is granted. Stay with the people. I urge you, I implore you, stay with the people. We politely request that we firmly demand that you fulfill your oath to the Constitution. Thomas Jefferson was very wise. The rightful remedy to tyranny is nullification. You cannot enforce an unjust law if a DA refuses to press charges, a policeman refuses to make an arrest, a judge refuses to hand down a sentence, and you can't even get a jury to convict. The immediate solution is nullification. You have the power in your hands to peacefully resist and defeat all of these unconstitutional laws. It's time to stand up today and be the change you wish to see in the world. Nullification is the key.